I've got coconut oil, olive oil, and a little bit of castor in here. And add 2 tablespoons of bentonite clay. I don't like to add too much clay. Oops. Oh, and it also has some taco farol in it. I put that in every soap because it helps to keep the oils fresher longer. Okay? This right here is some essential oils. It's lavender, tea tree, helichrysum, rosemary, and a little bit of vetiver. That gets put in later. The type of soap I'm making is one that I have made, gosh, I'm not sure how many times I've made this. A lot. Probably 2 to 4 times a year. It's my Herbal Acne soap. Oh, that's the other thing that's in there. I have an acne blend of an extract, hydrangea root, yarrow, yellow dock, burdock root. They're all antifungal and antibacterial, and believe me, if you've got any kind of skin condition, the herbs in my my acne extract are mind-boggling how well they work. This is my lye water, and I'm sure you're wondering why it's colored the way it is. Probably seen that. And that's because the water that's in there is actually tea. It's made with hibiscus flowers, and it's an actual tea, and then I add my lye to it. Hibiscus is nature's Botox. It's so good for the skin, it's just something else. My oils have been heated to about 180 degrees, something like that. This is a hot recipe. From start to finish, it's hot and it's quick. And so you want to have everything ready to go before you start on a recipe like this, because it's quick. So my temperature right now on this is about 177 with the hot lye. And now I'm going to make some noise. Sorry. Some phenol drops. But I can show you later that it's good to go. You can literally use this soap right after it's cut. Coming up. Now this soap will go up to 200 degrees. And it's going to go through a few things. So while I'm waiting for it to warm up a little more, I'm going to tell you about my mold. My mold, my husband made my molds a long time ago, and I went through the torture of trying to figure out ways to line them. And I finally bought some silicone from Amazon. They've got different colors, but it's basically a high heat silicone that you can bake with. Now the problem was, he had one heck of a time figuring out how to get the silicone to stick to the wood. He must have tried 10, 15 different glues before he finally figured out the right combination to get it to stick. And it's the best thing You will see later when I unmold this soap how wonderful it is. No more putting paper on it, no more wasting paper, no more plastic wrap, nothing like that. You basically put this thing together, and I use a square so that I can make sure that I pull up the end the right amount. My husband set this one. He don't have it set quite right. Ha, that's funny. Anyway, you want to bump it against there, and then you tighten it up. That way when you cut your soap, it's nice and square. Yep. So that has made my life so much better, having these molds lined with silicone. After I've cut it, after I've taken it out and cut it, I take a wet rag and I wipe it down and reset it, and we're talking less than 5 minutes compared to the agony I used to have to go to. It just made my life a whole lot easier. So it's just got bolts, and it's a simple mold. Which, mine are made for 15 pieces. I'm just, yeah. Back to my soap. Let's see how we're doing here. The temperature's not coming up. If you're a soap maker, you know all the stages. So I usually don't take my stick blender out until it flips. It runs past. Of course, if you're not a hot process soap maker, you may not know what I'm talking about. Basically, how do I explain? It gets thick, really thick. And then, all of a sudden it goes liquid. And at that point I usually spin this a few more times, clean off my stick that way, and I'm done with that. You can see how it's changing color. It's getting ready to flip. And right at this point, you go ahead and get rid of your stick blender. You don't need it anymore. What you will want to have is a whisk and a big spatula, which this came from Sam's Club. There's a 2-pack of them. One like this and one another style. So you keep going, and it's going to foam up. But don't get excited. This one doesn't really foam up as much as some of my other ones. So, but this is the process of gelling right in your pan. And if you keep mixing, you'll end up with this absolutely beautiful soap. You could just put a lid on it and leave it alone. It would still do its job, but you have to keep more of an eye on it. Now, if it starts to foam, you immediately switch from the whisk to this, which I don't know if it's going to do it for us. for you to see. Because it's already up at 210, so it may not do much more than this. I have another soap that that I actually have to put in twice as big a pan because it likes to try to boil over. And that's for my laundry soap. And the reason it does all that is because I put karanja oil in it. Karanja oil is an antifungal oil. It's a really neat oil. It's a cousin to neem oil, if you've ever heard of neem. But it doesn't have quite the terrible smell that neem oil does. Of course, if you like neem, okay. Sorry. I'm just not a big neem oil fan. You see how it's starting to foam a little bit? But all you do is just mix it back down. Stir it back down. And believe me, it could come all the way up to here. And you can take care of it just by mixing. Just mix, 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 mix. And that'll take all the bubbles out. This is almost done already. Like I said, it's a very fast soap. Which I will get a little piece of paper towel so you can watch the progress. So right now it's not done. Getting close though. So if you were to do a tiny test, I'll do a little tiny test so you can see. I don't usually do this, I don't waste the stuff. But it will still be purple. See it? Okay, there, now you can really see it. See, purple? Which means it still has active lye. And you just wait. Let it finish processing out. Keep stirring. Which when you've done it a few times, you kind of get an idea for when it's ready. It loses its gloss and goes mashed potato-y, I guess. That's the right word. And get a little tiny bit out of there. There might be just a hint of purple left, but that's probably about it. See? Lye is neutralized. You see? No purple. So at this point, we go ahead and add our. The other thing you could add at this point would be aloe, warm sugar water. Let's see, what else have I added? And I know you probably wondered, sugar water. Sugar makes soap fluffy lather. Oh goodness, lots of soft, fluffy lather. It's always fun to add sugar to soap. And you can do it in your lye water, but when you're working with something like this, you can add it at the end. Now I'll tell you why this is a really cool method for making soap. I just put that in there, all those essential oils and extracts. You see, the soap is done. So all of the goodness of the herbs and essential oils, if you were here with me, you'd be going, whoa, I really smell that. And that's why I do it. It's for to get the most out of the herbs and the essential oils. when I do cold process, I lose some of that. And I don't want to lose it on this because it's for herbal, for acne. And that's it. Now you let it cool down. And after it's cool, you can cut it. Hot process, you can get holes on the sides. Now if you wanted to, you could take a stick or something and make it pretty, but I leave the top rough. I like it. I bang it down just to make sure there's no holes. That's the way the blue silicone works. Amazing. It sat for an extra day, so it got hard. I usually cut it as soon as it's cool. As you can see, it gets really hard. That's what it looks like. Now as it cures more, this will just go completely white. And I'll post some pictures. And that is Herbal Acne Soap.